One final question, because you were in New Hampshire. Are you thinking about running for president?
You know, every senator thinks of that. Some not very seriously. I'm probably one of those. Having said that, I do hope that somebody does run in the primary against the president. I think the Republicans need to be reminded of what conservatism really is and what it means to be decent. And we haven't had that kind of politics lately. And I fear for the future of the party if we don't remember who we are and what principled conservatism really is, and decency. We've got to get back to it. And the McCain, you know, that whole week, the commemoration of his life and his politics was just an additional reminder of the stark differences that there are sometimes in politicians. And I think we've, as a Republican Party, certainly have got to get back to the kind of decency that has characterized the party for a while.
Because some say it is the party of Trump. Would the GOP embrace that message?
Well, it is disturbing. I mean, the president is who he is, and I'm not sure he's going to change, but when you see him at a rally, the disturbing thing isn't so much what he says anymore, it's the cheers, you know, from people behind him. And the chants of lock her up, for example, that's just unseemly. And it does make me fear that it's going to be a longer process to get out of this than it should be. But we will. We have to. Anger and resentment are not a governing philosophy. And ultimately, voters will again value those who can govern and those who treat each other with respect. We have to, because we have too big of problems to solve than we can do with one party.
If you were to run, do you know what you'd be up against?
Oh, sure. Sure. I mean, it's the entire machine. This is the president's party right now, no doubt. And to win in a Republican primary around the country, you have to really embrace the president's policies and condone his behavior. And that's the bottom line right now, but it won't always be that way. And over time, we'll realize where we need to go.
Finally, for you or anyone that would challenge him, what's the timeline?
Oh, you know, I think in normal times you get started right after the midterms, but that's not necessarily the case here. You know, depending on what the economy's like, what else goes on with foreign policy, investigations, whatever, those all could impact things in a far longer time frame than perhaps we're used to. So I do hope that there are other candidates out there, like I said, if nothing else, to remind Republicans of what we used to and will need to stand for if we're going to be a major force in the future.
But you're at least interested or considering it?
Well, I'm not ruling it out, but I need a break.